How's it going, guys? First off, the video quality will improve slightly. I don't know if I've said in another video already. I'm not going for different angles and pro filming and stuff. This is more just supposed to be like a blog style bunch of videos on my channel. But it is a bit dark and I only have the two fluorescent lights in this garage. I will get better lighting at some point, so just bear with me at the start. But yeah, thanks guys. So in this video, I'm just going to explain to you the condition of this SC. I'll tell you what kind of an SC it is and everything so far that I've seen that's wrong. Now, the other Porsche I have is a 3.2 Carrera. I've had that for about 3 years and it's never seen a mechanic, so I've done all the work on it. It was really good condition from the get-go. There were a few things I had to do and fix, but compared to this, it was in much better condition. But what I'm trying to get at is I've had a lot of experience by now with fixing and working on Porsches, and between the years, a lot of parts are pretty much the same. A lot of things are the exact same. So I felt like I didn't really need to have a PPI inspection. I went and had a look at the car, was pretty happy with the condition and pretty happy with the price, and that's why I decided to buy it. So without further ado, let me go over all the things that are wrong with this SC, or things I need to fix and refurbish. Okay, let's start with the interior. Now, I guess the first thing you can see is the seats. The seats are Velo Australian-made race seats. They're fiberglass, I believe. They're one of the first things I'm going to do straight away. And over there, I've got some LS Recaro seats in houndstooth. They're going to go straight in. You can see there's some sort of silver bling bling stuff that's been happening here. The speaker grills are missing. The door cards are pretty, I mean, this is all right. I've never actually seen this. If anybody even watches this video, I've never seen this kind of vinyl interior texture on a Porsche. But it's definitely not leather. But anyway, door cards are a bit misaligned. I'm not sure if I'll do RS door cards on this or not. Depends on what I'm going to do with this Porsche. But anyway, gear shift is completely wrong. I'm going to put in a wrench shift. I have it on the shelf already. I'll put that in. I've got a Mod 7 Momo steering wheel that's going to go in as well. And that one I'll just flog on Facebook for a small price. Other eagle-eye viewers will notice this dash is not correct. This is a 86 onwards dash with the larger vents. You'll see this in the 964 and the 993 in the last, 3 years of the G series. I'm okay with that. Australia's hot. I want to put in a classic retrofit AC, and the larger vents help with that airflow. I remember watching a video by Home Built with Jeff. He has a smaller dash, and he said the classic retrofit works well, but he wished he had that larger dash. So I'm not too pissed about that dash not being period correct. I will remove the center console. I don't like them. Just in terms of the look, I like it without that. It makes me feel like I'm in an earlier 911. The sun visors are absolutely gone, all the foam stuff, so I need new ones of those. Sunroof's working well. Then it comes to the back. I've never seen anything like this. Well, actually, I've seen on Pelican parts once, but there's a subwoofer, 4 speakers back there. It's got tweeters down here, and then just the normal speakers in the door card. Funnily enough, this SC is an 1980, but let me get in here. You can see the actual parcel shelf doesn't even have the vents or the holes, little holes, the perforations for the speakers, which confused me because I thought the 1980, by 1980, I thought rear speakers were stock on these cars. But again, the thing that makes me confused with this car is I've never seen this kind of textured. It almost looks like fake leather, you know. It's in my 3.2 Carrera. It's a really nice smooth vinyl, And this is some sort of fake leather vinyl. Anyway, I don't know what it is. I need to research. So that's it for the interior. To be honest, the interior is not too bad, right? I'm going to put all the trim back to black, new gear shift from Ren shift, remove the center console, put in my Recaro seats, different steering wheel, and remove all this from the back. I have got the original rear seat paddings and cushions. The actual fabric sections of the seats, they need to be replaced, but I've got all the structure, all of them there. They just need to be reconditioned and reupholstered, I mean. Okay, so that's interior. Exterior wise, there's this weird little antenna here. I believe that's an FM antenna. This used to be a track car at some point in its life. I'm 100% sure of that. And I guess that's an antenna for a radio, right? I don't think it would be like a tracking or GPS thing for track. I don't think so. Then we also have these headlamps on the front. They need to be removed. I thought they were wired and I was going to keep them because I thought it was kind of cool look, but they're not even wired on. So I'll remove that. I'll remove that from the car. Just keep it stock. Other than that, it's had the paint job. It's had apparently a bare metal respray. I mean, they didn't take the interior out, but in terms of the exterior, that was, I think the doors came off, fenders came off, all the bumpers came off. So it wasn't really a closed door respray, but they definitely omitted the interior. But anyway, so the paint quality is pretty good. There's a few parts where he told me it's just dust, but I mean, it may be a little bit of rust coming up. You can see here, there's a few imperfections there. I'm not too fussed about it. I think if it was a bit worse and really caught your eye, I'd be a little bit more annoyed about it. But in terms of this car just being something I can use a lot and not babying it, the paint job's in absolutely amazing condition. Okay, that's it. That's the exterior. Now, what else? Okay, let's look at this suspension. Let me go over to the brighter side of the room. It's running Coney yellow rears. I'm assuming they're matched to the front. I can't tell because obviously we've got the strut here. This not being a green strut, I assume it's for the Coneys. The one thing that's weird is if I go like this, I've never had that in my other Porsche. I've never been able to move it. So I don't know if it's just the first centimeter or millimeter of the stroke is always like that on Coneys versus the Bilstein. But I assume the shocks are gone. You can also see here there's been a makeshift brake duct to improve the cooling. That's why I believe this was a track car at some point in its life. It has a mod plate for the Queensland state for this, and also for the bucket seats. So I guess at some point he was stopped and defected. I don't know. I would have thought this, you could hide this from the cops. But anyway, for whatever reason, there are actually mod plates for it. Some of the bushings look alright. Just from the exterior, I've looked at the sway bar bushings and they look quite new. My 3.2 Carrera, when I redid the suspension, they were definitely cracked and looked old. These feel supple still, so I'm going to pull the suspension apart regardless, because often people will do the bushes they can see. Maybe in the actual A-arm they haven't done those ones where the torsion bars go through. So anyway, the suspension is going to get a whole new lease of life. The what else was I going to say? I don't know what the torsion bars are on this, but I know they're stiff. I know if he's running yellow Coneys, most likely he's not running, or what he was not running, the stock strut bars, torsion bars. The other issue is that the brakes are grabbing slightly. So, what is odd is that the rear right tire moves fine. The brake isn't grabbing on that corner, but all other three corners, the brakes are grabbing. And I have seen in some of his receipts that he had the left rear caliper rebuilt because one of the pistons, or the only piston, was sticking. So I'm not sure if it's been sitting again and they've just seized a second time. But I'm going to have to dive into it. I kind of thought if the master cylinder was bad, all the wheels would be sticking on, but in this case 3 out of the 4 are. But that's something that definitely needs to get done. That's kind of it for the bad points on the suspension. Engine wise, it's a stock 3-litre SC from the 1980s, so it's pushing out 188 horsepower. This car's a very high mileage car. It's got 340,000 kilometers on, which I believe is roughly 200,000 miles. Now, the engine looks okay. It's leaking more than my other car, but my other car's in pretty damn good condition. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do about that. I feel as if I'm going to drop the engine and the gearbox. I need to do a leak down test just to see where it's at. The fact that it was rebuilt 100,000 kilometers ago, I guess, is a good thing. Might still have some life, but we'll need to do the leak down test to see. The tensioners on this are also manual. It hasn't been upgraded to the 3.2 tensioners, which are the oil fed, I believe. Just have another look. Yeah, there's no cross tubes or anything, so it's definitely, let me have a look here. I'll definitely be able to tell straight away. Oh, actually, I believe it may have the 3.2 tensioners. Okay, well, okay, let me triple confirm, but I believe it might have the upgraded tensioners. Anyway, I'll need to lift it up a bit higher and have a look, but that would be a win because the mechanical tensioners are known to, I guess, go. And on the Pelican parts, I saw they were saying you need to replace them about every 50,000 miles. But anyway, the rust-wise underneath, I've lifted it up, had a look. You know what? Why not? Let's do that. Let's go up. Three hours later. Okay. Exhaust wise, there's some surface rust on that. Doesn't look too nice. Yeah, it doesn't look nice at all. Other than that, rust wise underneath, it's pretty good. Let me just get a torch here. Okay, so as you can see, she's a bit oily, not severely oily. It may be the triangle of death. I kind of assume it is, because if you look here at cylinder 6, there's a lot of oil, and that's just above there is where the triangle of death is. So that is possibly a good sign. Hopefully it's a good sign. That's a good sign in the sense that it's an easy fix. It's an oil leak I know what's happening with. Gearbox is pretty dry. Well, it is dry, which is nice. That was also rebuilt at the same time. And as you can see underneath, you know, it's dirty, but it's not rusty. There's some surface rust on the parts that you would expect from a car with 350,000 kilometers on, but there's no gaping holes. This isn't a American delivered car that's lived in the ocean, near the ocean, and been through winters with ice on the road, or the UK like with ice on the road. You know, generally our Australian delivered cars are very dry, and I'm pretty sure if this just had a good ice blast, or what is it called, ice something, but yeah, if somebody came under here and just detailed it, it would come up pretty damn good. So anyway, that's a brief overall, guys. Interesting as well, you see this, I've never seen this in the wheel well of a Porsche. This is an old school Griffiths AC system. So back in the day, I guess, I don't know, I guess they still sell them, but this one looks pretty damn old. This was a way of improving the AC systems. I believe that's a condenser. It must be a condenser. So it has a condenser just under the spoiler like normal, but they also added another one here in the wheel well to help improve the air conditioning. And I kind of think that's what's happened with this car at some point in its life. Sorry guys, I was trying to stop the wheels from rolling away, but I can show you those as well. They're CSA, so they're an Australian made wheel. They look a bit like bore bits. Fronts are 6x7s, rears are 16x7, rears are 16x8. There was about a 7mm spacer on the rear as well. They're pretty cool. I was, before the car was brought here, I was about to click on buying some Fuchs off Marketplace. But those bore bits have kind of grown on me. They're kind of, the wider stance of them, you know, it's running 225s on the front, so just the lip of this fender has been rolled. The exterior is the same, but just the inner has been rolled a bit to accommodate that. So they sit quite wide, they fill out the wheel arches. It looks pretty sick, to be honest. It looks cool. So I'm going to keep them for now. Tires need to be replaced, but for now I will keep them. Anyway, that's a good overall view of the vehicle. I'm going to do videos of sort of the major work I do. I don't think you're going to be interested in me removing the speakers or putting in the Recaro seats or changing the steering wheel. I might do a video on changing the shifter because there seems to be a lot of videos and how-tos, or maybe because there are so many videos and how-tos I shouldn't do it, but the wrench shifter is very nice and it's quite an easy job putting the new shifter in and just adjusting the linkage. So I might do a video of that just to help some others out. But anyway, that's it guys, that's it. That's the Porsche. This is the project car. There'll be another video with me talking about what I'm going to do with this vehicle, why I bought it, and you know, potentially what it's going to turn into. So stick around for that video. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.